So the last time I checked, folks, the object of the sport or the game of baseball was to get runners on the bases and then move them to home plate, not to just keep them on the bases. Somebody better check to see the Phillies understand that basic rule of baseball. Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to the Fighting Spinal here on the Edge of Philly Sports with your boy, Matty B, who's, he's kind of tired today. It's been a long day for me. It's been a long day for the baseball team, too, as the Phillies fall in epically frustrating, what's the word I want to look for, folks? Futile, excrement. I don't know the word to describe how I'm feeling today, but the Phillies fall today 6-0 to the Mets, thus losing the series now 2-3, blowing an opportunity, blowing an opportunity to get themselves right back in the conversation for the NL East, and in a lot of ways, putting a lot of doubt in my mind. It's not been a good stretch of games over the last 4. We seem to forget that the Marlin game back there on Thursday, I believe it was. Yes, Thursday. Phillies got shut out in that game. So now that we've kind of limped to the end of this series by scoring 2 runs the entire series, the Phillies have now they've been they've been outscored 11-2 the last 4 games, right? They've been outscored 11-2 in the last 4 games. They've scored 2 runs in the last 36 innings of baseball. 2 runs in the last 36 innings of baseball. They've left 36 runners on base in the last 4 games. They've left 19 of those runners in scoring position with 2 outs. And they've struck out 49 times in the last 4 games. Thus, why we are sitting at where we are sitting at this particular moment in time, 11.5 games now out of first place in the National League East, and reeling, absolutely reeling for another lifeless offensive performance today in Citi Field at the hands of the stinking New York Mets. 6-0. And let's get to it, shall we? Let's get this pain over with. It's been a long day. The Phillies would finish the day with no runs on 9 hits. God damn it! Listen, and this is why it's so frustrating to me. It's not like we're not getting hits. It's not like we're not getting on base. We're just not getting runners to home. It's been the same story with this team all season long, inconsistently being able to move runners along the base paths and score runs. I mentioned this to Al last night on the show. The Phillies went over the thousand strikeout mark tonight or yesterday. They have now struck out with the 11 more today. They've now struck out 1,021 times as a team in 2022. They are steaming ahead. They've left 387 runners on base in scoring position with 2 outs. 387 throughout the season. 801 runners were just completely left on base for the Phillies this year. 801 runners left on base. It's frustrating on all kinds of levels. But anyway, the Phillies finished with no runs on 9 hits. Mets 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. How did it all happen out there in Citi Field? It got started just kind of like it always kind of gets started lately. In the first, Francisco Lindor would knock in Brandon Nimmo to make it 1-0. Lindor, I guess, set some silly record with the Mets shortstop RBI thing over Jose Reyes, whatever. Don't really care about all that. And then, Wheeler was kind of jumpy in the beginning of this game, and it didn't look right, but then he settled down and began to pitch like Zach Wheeler until the 4th. And then that's when the Mets, aided by 3 Texas League bloop singles and some sort of confusion in center field about what to do with the ball when there's a runner on third base, prompted a 5-run inning to put the Mets up, a 4-run inning to put the Mets up 5-0. Mark Canha would knock in Pete Alonso. Luis Gomez would knock in Mark Canha. James McCann would knock in Gomez. It just one after another with these bloop singles, and then the confusion in the outfield with what to do with the ball when there's a runner on third. And then Daniel Vogelback would then homer in the 6th to make it 6-0, and that was going to be all for Zach Wheeler, as he was kind of was okay, and then the 4th inning happened, and it all went to hell. On the offensive side for the Phillies, again, they scratched out 9 hits, but they didn't get any runs. Listen, guys, how do you get runs? So the 4th inning we've talked about is how bad it was for the Phillies, or for the Phillies in the field. But we recall in the top of the 4th inning, The Phillies had runners on first and second with no outs. In the top of the fifth inning, they had bases loaded with no outs and scored no runs. Championship teams don't do that, folks. Championship teams find a way to get runs in. And right now, I don't know, man. I don't know. Bryson Stott, 1 for 5. Rhys Hoskins, 1 for 3. Alec Bohm, 1 for 5. JT, 0 for 4. Nick Castellanos, 2 for 4. Derek Hall, 1 for 4. Gene Segura, 1 for 4. Brandon Marsh, 1 for 2. Sosa came in, was 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter. And Matt Verling, who, folks, I guess I'm kind of moving on now to other players to get on top of. Matt Verling has come up small multiple times recently, and I've seen enough of Matt Verling, and I've seen enough of Matt Verling's bat for a while. I got it. I know we're shorthanded with Kyle Schwarber. What happened to day to day? What happened to I'm taking Friday off, but I'll be back probably Saturday? Whatever happened to that? But Matt Verling is an offensive liability on the field right now. He came up small in that Marlin game late, and he's come up small all weekend long for the Phillies against the Mets. Time to sit Matt Verling. On the Mets side, Brandon Nimmo, 1 for 3. Sterling Marte, 1 for 4. Francisco Lindor, 1 for 3. Pete Alonso, 1 for 4. Vogelback, 1 for 4 with a homer and RBI. Kana, 2 for 4 with an RBI, and blah, 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 blah. Zach Wheeler will take the loss today. He's now 11-6. He went 6 befuddling innings, gave up 9 hits, six runs. All of them were earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Corey Knebel, who came on in the 7th inning and may be done for the year. I don't know what's good. He got hurt. He had to be taken out of the game. He might be done for the year. He lasted a third of an inning, 2 walks and a strikeout. Wasn't really that effective when he was in there. Bellotti came in and pitched a half an inning with a strikeout, and Brad Hand came on for 1 inning of work with 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. On the Mets side, Chris Bassett, 10-7 now. He went 5. They gave up 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Trevor Williams, Michael Givens, Jolie Rodriguez, and Ottavino would come on in and finish things off for the Mets, who now, as I mentioned, have gone now 11.5 games ahead of the Phillies. And the Phillies are now 12.5 games out of first place. So how you feeling, Philadelphia? How you feeling? And let's see what the folks got to say today. Sean, what's up, Matty? How the hell we score 0 runs? We better regroup. So, Sean, that's a great thing. And I was pondering that question throughout my entire day. Wow, it's really dark in here. Hang on. There you go. Is that better? Can you see my pretty face? All right. I was pondering that question all throughout the day. And it's not just the Mets, okay? We can sit up here and we can talk, we can throw out Scherzer, we can throw out DeGrom, and I know people are thinking that, well, it was just Scherzer, DeGrom, and Bassett. We can live with that. And in the first 2 games of the series, we played them tough. I don't want to hear that nonsense. We should have been all over Scherzer in that first game. We got kind of lucky in that game to win that. We should have been all over Scherzer in that first game. DeGrom destroyed us last night. I mean, there's no mixing and matching. Bassett wasn't all that good today. The Phillies got to him for about 7 hits. The Phillies loaded the bases with nobody out. The Phillies got first and second with nobody out. The Phillies can't figure out how to get the runs in, and it's something that's been going on all season long. And yes, should we go back and regroup? We got to go to Cincinnati. We got 3 games, low-hanging fruit. Mets are going to be playing the Braves in 4. Things could switch. We got the Mets next weekend in Philly. I understand, the roller coaster that is Major League Baseball, and I got that. But when are we going to start beating the teams that we need to beat to be the best? Because we can beat the Reds. We can beat the Nationals. We can beat the Pirates. We can beat all them other teams. But until we beat the ones that are consistently in front of us or consistently holding us back from reaching what we want, it doesn't really matter what we do, does it? Or does it? So right now I'm a little raw. But obviously tomorrow night, once we knock out, 17 hits and 38 runs and beat the Reds 46-2, I'll be singing a different tune. That's just how I am. But it makes you kind of wonder and think about what is next for this team. What is next? I mean, there is help coming, but let's face it. Come on. Bryce Harper comes back in September. It's going to take him a month to figure it out. So maybe we get him for October in prime Bryce Harper type thing. And I'll accept that and live with that. We got to find it from other places. Matt Verling ain't doing it. Castellanos is once again kind of ebbing and flowing back into kind of no man's land. JT slipping a little bit. Rhys Hoskins is falling off a cliff. Alec Bohm continues to be consistent. But where else is it coming from? That's what I want to know. Robert hits me with Stott should not have let off. Segura should have. Nah, I disagree. I think Scott is your until we get a real actual leadoff hitter here, Trey Turner. I think Stott is your leadoff guy, even when Schwarber comes back. And I think Jeans is number 2. Jeans is solid number 2, in my opinion. The defense in the outfield was very much hockey. Yes, Robert, it was. It was. For all you little leaguers out there, so who saw that play kind of go down. Here's how that should have worked out, right? So you have a runner on third base, right? And the ball, you don't just lob it back into the infield, okay? That's not what happens in that situation. You got to get it back into the infield quickly. And then the infielder typically gets the ball and runs it back to the pitcher because there's a runner on third base. That is fundamental baseball. That's right, Keith Hernandez. You called it. I got it. Got to give it to you on this one. Got to give it to you. This was the first time I saw Wheeler not wheeling and dealing today. Nah, Sean, he's had some clunkers along the way this year. And, I'm not going to put this on Wheeler. Yeah, he had a bad fourth. Those Texas League bloop singles, they happen. But the Phillies had their chances. They had their chances. Bassett was not a dynamo today. Sometimes you got to overcome not great pitching efforts. And the Phillies, for the most part, this season have been given great pitching efforts. But today they needed to overcome that. They needed to figure it out, and they couldn't. So I'm not going to hang it on Wheeler, man. Nah, I'm going to hang it on the 9 guys that were swinging the lumber. I really am. Stott needs the game off. He should not be starting tomorrow. Disagree, Robert. Okay. So we sit Stott, right? So what's the infield configuration? Segura and Nathan? I know he was batting 600 before he got hurt. I got all that, but listen, this is not the time to sit Stott. We got to get better again. We got an opportunity tomorrow. Remember that low-hanging fruit I just referenced, the Cincinnati Reds? This is a team we should go in and smack the hell out of. We got to start. We got to all hands on deck tomorrow. I don't want to hear about no days off anymore. Oh, no. And I think Stott gives you the better chance. I do. I think Stott gives you a better opportunity with him in the lineup right now until somebody else comes back, till Schwarber comes back, till Harper or something else. Right now, Stott's your most consistent offensive bat next to Alec Bohm. You know what? I'm going to give it to you because that's how I am. All right. I'm not ignorant. But don't sit here and tell me on August the 14th that the division's over. No. It's not. I don't see no one handing the Mets, the NL East flag today. I don't see the Mets getting a pass into the second round of the playoffs today. I don't see the Phillies clinching the second wild card today. None of that is happening today. Okay? Enjoy it. Yes, you won the day. I'll give it to you. You were the better team this weekend overall. You did what you had to do, and that's what championship teams do. Got it. But it ain't over, baby. It ain't over by a long stretch. Okay? So enjoy it, revel in it, flip the page, and move on. That's what I'm doing. Weird game. Mets had 10 scores, 6 runs. Phillies had none hits and didn't score. Huh? Phillies had 9 hits and didn't score. It was a weird game. John Smith. Yikes! Leads the Phillies 0 was brutal. Mets are keeping the lead. They are for now, John, and we gotta move on. What am I in denial about? Fish hobbyist. And what is a fish hobbyist anyway? Somebody explain that. Maybe you can. What am I in denial about? Tell me. Because I want to know. Oh, I want to know what I'm in denial about. Mets dominant starting pitching will take them far into the playoffs. If they can get their starting pitching to the playoffs. Okay? LOL, Bassett wasn't the good. He shut down the Phillies. The Phillies are not consistent. Okay, Anthony, Bassett wasn't that good. He gave up 9 hits. He gave up in back-to-back innings, runners on first and second with nobody out, and then he loaded the bases in the top of the 5th with nobody out. That is not – listen, the Phillies let him off the hook a couple times, all right? Bassett did what he had to do. Yes, he did what a Major League Baseball pitcher had to do, whereas Wheeler did not. But don't be putting Bassett on some sort of level of pedestal that he pitched otherworldly today, like Nolan Ryan would be in awe. No, that is not what he did. The Phillies let him off the hook twice. Come on, man. Come at me with something better than that. 35 games over 500. Yeah, I got you, man. Phil's lineup is not just complete. Too many holes. No, I agree. Absolutely. And obviously with the injuries to Harper and Schwarber, that's not helping Matt. That's not helping things. And that's why Trey Turner will be a Philly next year. Can you imagine that? Trey Turner leading off, playing shortstop, move Bryce Stott over to second permanently. God, I can only dream for next season. Huh? But we got still baseball to play this year. Phillies have been shut out 3 of the 4. Okay, so Sean, you brought up a great point, and I wrote off some numbers here. Let's read all of Sean's little blurb here. I want to give you the credit. Sean says Phillies have been shut out 3 of the last 4 games, 36 strikeouts, 2 for 21 with runners in scoring position, 26 runners left on base in the series against the Mets. Phil's 4-11 versus the Mets this year and have lost all 5 series. Yeah, they have. And of course, after last night's game, the Phillies' chances of winning the season series against the Mets went out the window. But I'll do you even better, Sean. The Phillies, the last time, so they got shut out on June 24th, and they hadn't been shut out since Thursday against the Marlins. So since Thursday, the Phillies have been shut out 3 times. So no shutouts between June 24th and Thursday, and then 3 shutouts since. Is that something that needs to be investigated? Is that something that's a little bit concerning to anybody? Or is it the buzzsaw of the Marlins and then the Mets? Am I jumping the gun here on that? Am I somebody help me out? I mean, is there fire? Is there smoke where there's fire? I mean, give me something here. June 24th, last shutout, 3 times since Thursday. Don't know. Phillies team need load management like the NBA and Mets already won. Man, Matty, he still shut down the Phillies. And good. Yeah, no, I'm not. Did he shut down the Phillies or did the Phillies shut down the Phillies? Maybe a combination of both, right? Shutting down the Phillies would have been like 12 strikeouts. DeGrom last night was being shut the hell down. Today wasn't. The Phillies got to him. The Phillies got runners on base, and then they just couldn't seal the deal. Matt Burling out there swinging like he doesn't know what he's doing. Again, I am going to give Bassett the credit that he deserves. He pitched. He did his job, yes. But that's it. He didn't shut nobody down, man. That Grom shut them down. Well, we have a little pause in the action here. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Let's kind of look around Major League Baseball and see exactly how much damage was done to the Phillies today. The Giants are currently beating the Pirates 5-3 in the top of the 6th inning out there in the city by the bay in San Francisco. The Padres all over the Nationals today 6-0. The Braves beat the Miami Marlins 3-1. And St. Louis handled their business over Milwaukee. So once again, not a very good day to be a Phillies fan. I don't even know if we still have a damn wild card spot right now. I haven't even looked. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Bassett 24 straight innings, no runs. That's the guy the Phillies won. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So again, let's not give Bassett. I mean, he was shut down last week against the Braves. Last Sunday when he pitched against the Braves. I think it was on Sunday. It was a day game. It was last week at some point. I watched a little bit of it. He was shut down against the Braves. Against the Phillies, he kind of got lucky a little bit. The Phillies left him off the hook. The Phillies put him out there, and then they let him off the hook. Let's be real, folks. Let's be real. Walter says the Milwaukee has to play the Dodgers 7 out of the next 10. Yeah, and the Mets got to play the Braves. They got to play the Dodgers. They got to play the Yankees. They got to play some teams like that too, Walter. I want to win our games. I want to concentrate on who the Phillies are playing. I had such high expectations about this series. I did. I honestly believe that they could have swept. And based on what happened Friday night, I thought that was going to be a reality. Okay. I got over the DeGrom thing because that was just ungodly, right? Today was just a collapse. Today was a lack of character. Today was a bad judgment, bad decisions, lack of heart. Today was maybe today was the manager. How does a team that desperately needs this win? I mean, they desperately needed it. come out and play the way they did, offensively and defensively. How does that happen? How does the manager? Is that the manager? Does the manager account for that? So I want the Phillies to go out. They have an opportunity starting tomorrow to go and feast on some low-hanging fruit, and they got to do it. They got to do it. We can't afford. We got to sweep them. We got to sweep the Reds, get some help from the Braves, and potentially set up a big series next weekend. I still believe, folks. I do. I still believe that this team has it. There's a thing about this team. There's something about them. But we can't have letdowns like today. I can live with 1-0. I can live with 2-1. I can't live with 6-0 and the way that they got 6 runs and the way we did not get any runs. It's character, man. This is the playoffs. We've talked about this. This has got that vibe, the Red October. Where is it? Where's my? I'll bring it up for you. I even found my old rally towel. Circa 08. But this is what the time of the year is now. We got to start playing like that. So, tomorrow on Cincinnati. Who is pitching tomorrow, by the way? Well, let's take a look at that, old Matty B. Tomorrow in Cincinnati, the Philadelphia Phillies will face the Cincinnati Reds, and they will send Noah Syndergaard to the mound. His 6-8, 3.96 ERA against Mike Minor, 1-9, 6.24 ERA. Okay, does it get any low-hangier than that? Come on, man. Syndergaard needs a big start too. He needs to really kind of cement himself in there. Got to get that win tomorrow, Noah. Let's go. Got to get that win. This was the chance. Please look at the schedule for the Mets after the next couple of series. They play September. But listen, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what the Phillies got and let things kind of fall where they may. Listen, if the Phillies do come up short and don't win the division, you don't have to look any further than the head-to-head between the Phillies and the Mets. What are they, 4-11? So you take 11 wins. How many games Phillies out of first place? 11 and a half? Huh? It doesn't really take a math genius to figure out where the discrepancy is, right? So, yeah, I mean, you're right. First and second with no outs in the fourth, second and third, no outs in the fifth, and yet first and second, no outs in the ninth. Yeah. I agree, Walter. It was very frustrating to watch that. Very, very frustrating. Phillies need a leadoff hitter to set the tone and not have Stott leading off. The problem is my Mets took the Phillies for granted and thought it was an easy victory. Anthony, here's the problem. And again, thank you for chiming in. You're right. The Phillies don't have a leadoff hitter, and the team was never constructed to have a leadoff hitter. It was power heavy. But right now, 2 of our power bats are out, and we don't have compensation to play small ball, and that's been a problem all year long. It's been feast or famine. By the way, five games now without a home run for the Phillies. So you're right. But Trey Turner will remedy that for the Phillies next season when he's our starting shortstop and leading off, by the way. So we got to keep that on the hot stove. That's going to be something we talk about this winter to keep us warm, huh? All right, folks, let me pay some bills and let me break on out of here. As I said, it's been a long, long day for me. Hey, listen, we talked about this again yesterday. EOP is growing and by leaps and bounds every day. This is our weekly lineup. Of course, we have made it all the way to the end of the week or the beginning of the week. I don't know how you view Sundays. I personally look at them as the beginning of the week. But on Mondays, the Broad Street Bully podcast. Also on Mondays at 6 p.m., the Devros Sully Squad with Devros Sports. My show, Talking Philly Sports with Matty B, on Tuesdays at 9. Wednesdays is the Philly Press Box Radio. They had Kevin Riley on, and they're on 7 p.m. every Wednesday. The flagship show, EOP Live with Joey and Big Al, Wednesdays at 8:30. And my main man, the benevolent, His Majesty, Kyle Quinn, has returned with the Bird's IQ podcast, 7 p.m. on Thursdays. The Attacking Third with Austin Hamill and Gus Seminaro, Thursdays at 9. Saturday mornings at 9, Patterson Fanatics, Breakfast with the Boys. And then Sunday mornings at 9, Devro Sports. This morning at 9, Devro Sports with the Gobbler and Big Mike, John Bartron on. Go check that out. All the stuff is up on our website right now. And then tonight, we're going to wrap this thing up for the week with the Philly Lacrosse and Beyond show. All lacrosse, all the time. If you were having a good weekend, say on Friday night, and things took a turn for the worse, kind of like how they did for me, but not maybe quite to this point. But if you have reached this point and you need answers and questions about workman's comp, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, or criminal law, Dave Cherry, 610-565-0300 is the man you need to call. Tell him the boys at EOP sent you. And don't forget, folks, Talking Philly Sports with Matty B. This is the OG podcast. Before I was a EOP sensation, I did a podcast. I still do that podcast. And that podcast is available wherever you find all your great podcasts that you listen to. And folks, that is going to wrap me for the week as well. Not a great way to end things. Obviously, it started out to be a great week, but it didn't quite end on that tip. We go down 2 out of 3 to the Mets, now fall within 11.5 games out of first. Got the Reds next, and then we get the Mets for 4. So all hope is not lost. And let's keep the faith, right? Let's keep the faith, and let's go out like we go out every week here on the Fight and Spinal with the week that was in Phillies home runs. See ya. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll catch you tomorrow after the Reds game.
Dude, Thompson's doing a good job. The coaches are doing a great job. Bobby Kicker's
fly ball out to left field. It's carrying pretty well. Hernandez going back. Opposite field. Home run. Derek Hall.
Strong man.
He is a strong dude.
Man.
7 home runs. 14 runs batted in. How about how that ball took off?
When those big guys hit it, T-Mac, it's got that backspin.
Oh, big time.
Baby.
0-1 to Maton. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, and he smashes that one out of the yard, just under the auxiliary scoreboard. It's a 2-run home run. His second big league homer of the year, and the Phillies lead it 4-0.
He forgot to give the hook 'em horns to the bullpen.
Well, they're going to let him know.
Absolutely.
Nope, nobody could get away with it.
Yeah, then he blames me for the ball in Los Angeles.
Towering shot to left center field. Forget about that one. He's homered in 4 straight games. It's a 2-run bomb for Reese. 6-0 Phillies.
Go Phils.
Man, he's hot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, he's short and quick right now.
8 boys.
Yeah, well, Johnny, you can come over anytime. You know that.
Derek Hall pulls his hand in and crushes it over the top of the Toyota sign. It's his second home run of the day. 406 feet. 8 homers now for the big man, and always smiling as he's going around the bases.
You hit one.
And the next
Too good to be true, John.
Yeah, it really was, and it turned out to be, yes.
That is a towering shot deep down the left field line toward the pole. Gone! A home run for JT. 13th home run of the year. The Phillies take a 2-1 lead. You want to be just like JT, you got to hit it 409 feet. That ball's drilled deep to left field. It is gone!
Wow!
Jade's first home run since his return from the IL. It's a 3-1 ball game.